Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. Today's topic's rather interesting. We're going to be talking about economic things, but from a different perspective, a little bit different than uh, is normally talked about. Before we do, thanks all of you that tuned in on the last video. A lot of you tuned in on that and commented, so appreciate that. So I wanted to just look at it from a different angle this week. So the question is, and I had to ask myself this and it made me think, is economic oppression evil? Is it evil in the sense, is there a spiritual power behind it or an evil power behind oppressing or economic oppression? I think the short answer is yes, and we're going to get into that. I'm going to just read one verse that kind of delineates or separates between the two missions, between God and Satan, in a real clear way. You only have to go as far as John chapter 10, verse 10. So it says, the thief does not come, and now the thief is often interpreted as Satan in this passage. The thief does not come except to steal and to kill and to destroy. I have come that they may have life and that they may have it more abundantly. I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd gives his life for the sheep. So that's a pretty clear distinction between these two missions, between the mission of the Satan or evil versus Jesus coming to give us life abundantly. And so, of course, we could ask questions about why God allows evil up until the very end and all those things, but that's not today's conversation. Today I just want to talk about why we don't often recognize it as being evil. We more frame it in the sense of bad economy or greedy people, selfish people, stealing, making bad policies, all those things. Now, living in California, there's definitely a direct result that's happened from all of the greed and the bad policies and the evil policies that have been put in place year after year. And the result is a very heavy oppression of the average person. The person who suffers the most in this state, in the state of California, is, and I'm only speaking for California. This is where I live. This is what I know. And so I'm not going to try to do some universal thing. I only want to talk about what I actually know, what I actually see every day. And every day I see how this state and its government and the people running its government continuously, year after year, impose more and more oppressive burdens on the common person. And it's gotten to a point in California where you are better off to either to be very rich, to be at the very top, so an executive or something like that, way up there, or to be at the very bottom, meaning that you take advantage of all the social programs and everything and you don't even try. But anybody that is in between those two, which is the majority of working people and businesses, right? Small businesses and working people, they get pummeled day and night by these people. And it's really ruthless. It's brutal. And so in my mind, when I was thinking about this question, it was like, I don't generally ascribe the word evil to it. I usually say things like greedy, short-sighted, all these things. But at the heart of it, there is a spirit there, isn't there? I mean, because we're not talking about people who are not intelligent, right? They can look at the things that are happening on the ground. These people who are running this state, and they can look at all these things. They can see people are suffering. I mean, there's, you know, people here that there's so many homeless. There's so many people living out of their cars. I mean, I'm blessed because I have a higher paying job, and even having a higher paying job, I'm struggling. I mean, I don't feel like I'm doing, you know, for the amount of money I make at my job, it doesn't feel like I'm getting really anywhere. I'm keeping the lights on, I'm keeping the bills paid, I've got a few dollars saved, but for the amount of money, you know, I should be way further ahead. So I can only imagine being, you know, an average wage earner. We talked about this last week. If you haven't watched that video, make sure you watch it. There's no way they can even be paying rent on an apartment. You know, it's brutal. And so what else can we call this? What other name can we give it? If we can't subscribe or put the word evil to this, I don't know what else, you know. It has all the characteristics of evil. Because if you are willing, if the people in charge are willing to continuously implement policies that so horribly affect people, for, you know, yes, they act like they're holier than thou. They act like everything they do is so intelligent and wonderful and scientifically proven. But you can't tell me that every time you deny somebody a permit to build a house or even a chicken shed because there's some little snail or something that you found that, you know, you want to say that needs some environmental impacts survey. And let's get right down to it with California. Anything that you do, you could probably do it with enough time and enough money. You could probably actually start doing something. So is it really about any of this stuff other than just getting people to pay a lot of money and oppressing people, and probably that smug satisfaction they get out of thinking that they're more intelligent than everybody, while they're in reality all they're doing is oppressing and pushing people down and bullying people. They're not saving the world, they're not saving the planet, they're not doing anything, you know, incredibly amazing and advanced. They're beating down their own population. They're beating down the working people and businesses. So how is that not evil? So, I mean, those are some of my thoughts on it. You guys can share your thoughts on it. I mean, you can share, if you're not from California, you can, you know, speak about your own state. On a personal note, it's gotten to a point, I'm going to be honest, that me and my wife are probably not staying here anymore. I mean, we will probably be here a few more months, work out the season here. For mine's, you know, my better months are in the summer and in the timber falling industry. But that's probably, you know, probably going to be it. We're going to be moving on from here to another state, and I'll give you some updates on that. And I don't want to get into details. We're just kind of in the beginning phases of all that. But yeah, just been thinking a lot about this topic. And long story short, you know, I've sat here in California, or worked here in California, tried to make it work. I've got family here. I've got, you know, a lot of things I like about California, but to be honest, these policies and all these things, they're just very oppressive, and they really make being here miserable. And I could give you an example after example. I've tried to do a couple businesses here. I've got my own cutting contracting business that I do, and just anything business wise, anything that you do here is just, I may give details if you guys are interested, but let me just sum it up by saying it's very oppressive. There's nothing there's nothing easy. I mean, even the simplest of things, like it just make it miserable. Like, I'll give you an example. I had a commercial firewood lot, and I had a flatbed truck. Well, though, they can't have that flatbed truck. They're going to make it into basically a commercial vehicle. They're calling it a commercial. They act like it's a big rig 18-wheeler. So you got to go have a Class A license to pull a trailer and do all this stuff. And this is all just for a truck that I bought, and I didn't even know this at the time. I bought it just to pull a trailer, to do, you know, firewood type stuff and all that. And I did not even have a clue. I guess I should have done more research, but that's just one example. I mean, and you could go, just about anything you go to do, you're going to find out there's a rule against it, or a regulation, or there's a problem, or there's an issue, and you're not in compliance. As far as being in compliance, if you're alive and trying to do anything in California, I guarantee you, you're not in compliance. You're breaking some rule somewhere. I guarantee it. I mean, 1,000%. And that's one of the things that really gets to me, is like, yeah, they might not enforce every little thing, but they always got this rule book. And so if there's something, if they just decide they don't like you as a person, as a business owner or whatever, and you got somebody down in the planning department, building department, whatever, and they just don't like you. All they got to do is take out the rule book, find where you did several violations, find the tar out of you, sue you, whatever, and that's that. Mission accomplished. So it's always this dark cloud over you. And so there we go. I mean, a dark cloud of oppression, a dark cloud of evil. It's evil, right? I mean, it's not good. It's not good. That's not a godly way of just hanging over you, dictating every little move you make in life, constantly pestering and hounding people for no reason. I mean, look at the people down in LA trying to get their permits to rebuild. They're not going to get those permits probably for the next 5 years. The best thing they could do, if they're, people down in LA, if their insurance didn't expire because the insurance companies pulled out, if their insurance didn't expire, then just take that insurance and go somewhere else. I mean, it's not worth it. I mean, the quality of life has gotten so bad here. They're so rabid. They're so out of control. I'm done with it. That's for sure. So anyway, I just wanted to share some of that, talk about that, and also just, say there is a spiritual aspect to it. People, we don't generally call it what it is, but this is evil. What they do is evil. It's wrong and it's evil. And it has a satanic element to it, and it's not right. And as far as I can tell, for me and my wife, I think it's just not the place for us. We were trying to make things work here, and we're just spinning our tires here. We're spinning our wheels in the mud. So, like I said, I'll keep you guys updated, but yeah, I don't think we're gonna. I'm not saying anywhere else is perfect, but there's places that are far better. There's no doubt about that. In the United States, there's places that are far better. So it's just, and I think it's just time to be done with this. They're not going to change. They're not going to get any better. I mean, I always hope that they would see what they're doing to people and pull back and start to change direction at some point, and it never happens. Each year, more rules, more regulations, more businesses going out of business, more businesses leaving, more people leaving. Does it deter them? Nope. Next year, same, you know, same thing. Yeah, just, and even if it's not like something they're doing to me directly, I'm watching them do it to all my fellow Californians, and it's just miserable. And so it's just, it's misery. That's all I can say. So then this video, you know, maybe whatever had a different tone to it, or, you know, but I just kind of wanted to air some of that out, talk about that, and yeah, people can, you guys can comment as you will and share your thoughts as well. And if you live in a state that's a lot different or whatever, maybe a lot better, which wouldn't be hard to do. I mean, I can't really, I think the states along the coast seem to be the worst. Like, I think Oregon's better, but it's not good. It kind of follows California, and then Washington, it's not good. It's pretty rough on this stuff too. And then even when you go over, I think Florida, I don't know about regulation wise, but I know, you know, expensive and stuff. It seemed like the kind of more toward the middle of the country, things are more reasonable. Housing prices are much better. You know, just my observations. So anyway, all right, that's enough for today. Thanks for listening. God bless you guys. I will see you on the next video.